What it do, YouTube, man? It is your boy Solid back with another solid reaction. And today, man, did Shaq carry Kobe? How do y'all feel about this? To me, I feel like for the first year, maybe it was Kobe still trying to understand the game. It was still Kobe coming into himself. He needed that. Maybe for the first year. But I think after that, we really saw Kobe Bryant come into his own. He became something that we just enjoyed and loved, man. Like Kobe was different, man. And that was something that we really did just sit there and just was like, yo, this is what it is. And no one can tell me that Afro Kobe does not hold a significant part in their heart, bro, because that's just how Kobe was. But, man, we're going to check this one out. It says, does Shaq carry Kobe? We're going to figure it out. I don't think so. If y'all think otherwise, let me know in the comment, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you never miss another solid reaction. Y'all know I'm always into whatever you guys are into, but let's get into this one and see exactly what's going on, baby, because you know I'm interested.
Tandems that the league has ever seen.
Okay.
And as teammates, they played 8 seasons together, went to the NBA Finals 4 times, and won 3 NBA championships. The thing is, there are many narratives about their time together as superstars, and one of the most common narratives was that Shaq carried Kobe. You hear all kinds of fans, critics, and even analysts make these claims, but is there any legitimacy to it? Today, I'll be answering that as I'm speaking from experience, considering how I watched nearly every single Laker game during that era.
I did too.
In order to come
to me, I felt like it was that first year.
Whether or not Shaq carried Kobe, all we have to do is look at the 3 seasons where they won the championship, seeing how those are the only ones that matter in this instance.
Facts.
Their first championship run came in the 1999 to 2000 season, and with Shaq in his prime MVP form and Kobe ascending as a young superstar, they completely steamrolled the Western Conference, finishing with a 67-15 record. Although the Lakers were running the triangle offense under Phil Jackson and Tex Winter, make no mistake, the regular offensive game plan was designed to run its way through Shaq, as the Lakers played an inside-and-out style of basketball. Kobe would have plenty of opportunities in isolation plays, but the vast majority of the time, the Lakers were looking to feed the big man down low. It was normal for Phil Jackson to ask Kobe to stop looking to score so much in order to get Shaq more involved. But when Shaq was having scoring streaks of his own, Jackson almost never reined him in order to give Kobe more opportunities, which is further evidence that Los Angeles looked to run their offense primarily through O'Neal. Especially during the regular season, Shaq held a strong advantage over Kobe statistically, as the Diesel averaged 29.7 points, 13.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and
look at the blocks, baby. Blocks per game. 3. That's tough. 52 on the field goal percent. I mean, 57 on the field goal. That's decent, especially when you down low and you're a big man like that. That's great basketball. You ain't really looking 3 assists. That's saying, look, I got it. I'm moving the ball around. Okay, I'm liking the stat line. It looks good.
3 blocks on 57.4% shooting. Not only was Shaq likely the most dominant offensive player throughout the regular season, but he also finished as that season's runner-up for the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Give me that.
Now compare his production to the Mamba, and you'll see just how big of a gap there was between the two in terms of impact. As the 21-year-old Kobe put up just 22.5 points.
But is that really that bad of an impact? Would you say it was a carry, though? I mean, I still would say it's a carry, but personally, I don't really want to say that. You got steals. That makes a big difference. He's got 1 more assist than, let's say 2. We'll say 2 more assists than Shaq. He's got half of what Shaq got on rebounds, and he's got 22 points. That's not a bad. To me, that's not bad at all. But I don't know. I feel like it could be.
6.3 rebounds,
who knows?
4.9 assists, and 1.6 steals on 46.8% shooting. Again, that's quite impressive for a developing star who's in his early 20s. But there was no denying that Shaq was clearly the superior player at this point. But as we all know, the NBA championship is won and lost in the playoffs, not the regular season. The first round was a hard-fought best-of-5 series that went the distance.
Was Sacramento, right?
It was against their rivals, the Sacramento Kings. Although Shaq was likely the MVP of that series, Kobe was no slouch either, as he put up a monstrous stat line of his own.
That's a good line.
In the second round, the Lakers handily defeated the Phoenix Suns.
Shaq did carry him right there.
And Shaq once again clearly outshined Kobe in terms of production. With that being said, Kobe's impact was still tremendously significant throughout the series, as he not only poured in decent numbers offensively, but he also completely locked down Phoenix's all-star point guard, Jason Kidd, who shot awful percentages and committed a total of 18 turnovers, thanks mostly to the Mamba smothering him consistently. In the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers and Blazers had a hard-fought 7-game series. Once again, Shaq clearly outproduced Kobe offensively, but Bryant was incredible defensively and even averaged more block shots that series than Shaq did. One thing that's often forgotten is that the Lakers were heading into the fourth quarter of Game 7 trailing by a whopping 13 points. And although the famous lob from Kobe to Shaq is the iconic moment in people's minds, many people don't realize that it was Kobe who led the charge that saved the Lakers season, as he outscored Shaq, out-assisted him, out-rebounded him, and out-blocked him with half the amount of turnovers. In other words, one may go as far as saying that Kobe was the one who carried the Lakers in the most crucial game of their season. On to the NBA Finals now, where the Lakers and Pacers went to 6 games before Los Angeles eventually clinched their first title in over a decade. Shaq was named the Finals MVP of that series, and rightly so, as he completely and utterly outclassed Kobe statistically, while playing in all 6 games, compared to Kobe, who missed nearly 2 whole games due to his famous ankle injury. Bryant did have that iconic overtime sequence in Game 4, where he took over the game after Shaq had fouled out, and hit 3 incredibly clutch shots to seal the win for Los Angeles. Based on that game alone,
got ice in his vein.
Recognize that Kobe at least had somewhat of a positive impact on the series. But given how much Shaq dominated throughout the rest of the series, it still may be fair to say that O'Neal carried the Lakers in these finals. The thing is, in all 3 of
Shaq
the
a big
Lakers
dude. Shaq look like he ain't never missed a meal in his life, bro. That's a big dude. That's a big dude, bro. On God, that's a big dude. Like he looked like he ain't never missed a full square meal a day in his life.
Championship run.
He like what is it? He like 7'2"? How tall is Shaq? I always forget.
Finals, since the 2 best teams overall were clearly represented by the West. If Kobe doesn't come up clutch to defeat Portland in 7 games, then Shaq isn't able to dominate the NBA Finals in the first place. So in conclusion, is it fair to say that Shaq carried Kobe in the 2000 season? I would say that it's at least plausible, and I would respect someone's opinion either way. But one thing that can't be argued is that Shaq was clearly Batman in their first championship run, while Kobe played the more complementary role of Robin. Now let's tackle the 2000 to 2001 season. Kobe's individual skills took a huge leap forward this season, as him and Shaq had nearly...
You know, honestly, I want to take a second to say that, because I was just thinking about it. We got to give Phil Jackson his props. He deserved like 2 Hall of Fame. Like, he should be in the Hall of Fame twice. Let's be real. This is the only man I've known in the history of basketball to consecutively give us 3-peats. This man got more 3-peats than anybody. He's the 3-point king. Like, he done 3-peated with 2 different teams. Do you know how crazy that? If Phil Jackson was to come back right now, I think he would 3-peat again. I'm just saying. We got to give him his flowers.
Identical scoring averages at the end of the regular season. But that's where they began their historic undefeated run through the Western Conference playoffs. Once again, it was the popular belief among people who followed the NBA that the Western Conference was much stronger than the Eastern Conference during this era. And with that being said, Kobe was arguably the best player on the Lakers during those inter-conference battles, as he efficiently filled up the stat sheet and dominated the game on both ends.
7 rebounds.
One of their more crucial series was their sweep over the first-seeded San Antonio Spurs in the West Final.
Look at that. 33 points. Yeah. Shaq, maybe that first series, maybe the first one, maybe the first season, I'll say you carried Kobe, but that's a stat line for you. Look at that. He became.
And in that series specifically, Kobe was almost certainly the MVP of that 4-game stretch. When the NBA Finals came, it was O'Neal who yet again dominated on a historic level, putting up completely insane numbers.
But when you've been there several times,
being defended by that season's Defensive Player of the Year, Dikembe Mutombo. Considering how Kobe was arguably the best in the West playoffs, it would be insanely inappropriate to say that he was carried this season, regardless of the fact that Shaq was the definitive Finals MVP against Philadelphia. In conclusion, Kobe was not carried in 2001. This brings us now to the final championship year of the Lakers three-peat, the 2001
I think Kobe just took over
season. Shaq's regular season numbers indicated that he was still the premier player in Los Angeles, but Kobe put up solid all-around numbers of his own, as the Lakers finished the regular season with a 58-24 record. Once again, Kobe was pretty solid throughout the Western Conference playoffs, as they had a tough road through Portland, San Antonio, and Sacramento. He wasn't as efficient as the previous postseason, but he still produced greatly and made plenty of timely baskets that were the difference in many close games. In the 7th and deciding game against Sacramento,
Kobe is a different
Kobe dropped
breed,
30
man.
points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Without his impact, Sacramento are the ones that win that series. Of course, the refs might have had something to do with that too, but that's a topic for another video. With all of that being said, Shaq consistently outproduced Kobe this postseason, and in the NBA Finals against the New Jersey Nets, the Diesel was the main reason the Lakers swept them so handily, as he deservedly won his 3rd straight Finals MVP. Shaq absolutely dominated, as he broke the NBA Finals record for the most points scored in a 4-game series. This completely overshadowed Kobe's terrific performance, as the Mamba scored roughly
27 points, 6 rebounds. We'll say 6 rebounds. We'll give him 5 assists. Oh my God, that's a good line, bro. But I mean, when you got Shaq on your team, somebody who is very down low gifted, bro, like he just gonna get his buckets regardless. It's kind of hard to sign. But let's be honest, if we take Shaq off that team and we look at Kobe's numbers, we would all say that's a great player by itself. Like, that's a great player. But being with Shaq, you're like, okay, but Shaq did have 33. He averaged 33 points, and you had 26. So you kind of, I get it. I guess I get
points
it.
Per game on insanely efficient shooting splits. Although Shaq deserved every Finals MVP he got,
hey, my boy Ricky Fox,
Kobe's crucial impact when the games mattered the most.
Yep.
For this reason, the conclusion is that Kobe was not carried by Shaq in the 2002 season. Yep. Now let me make this extremely clear. As we reflect and evaluate the Lakers three-peat, the evidence is clear that Shaq was the best player during those championship runs. And frankly, it wasn't
I don't think nobody denies that.
He was Batman and Kobe was Robin. Whoever argues otherwise either simply didn't watch or is just being an extremely biased Kobe fan.
Yeah,
Kobe was between the ages of 20 to 22, while Shaq was in his late 20s and in the prime of his career. Considering where they were at in their careers, it's understandable that this is how the pecking order unfolded. Even with this being said, I think it's extremely disrespectful to Kobe's contribution to say that Shaq carried him. When I think of the word carried, I think of LeBron dragging an injury-laden Cavs team to the NBA Finals in 2018. I think of Kobe willing the Lakers to the playoffs in 2006 with guys like Smush Parker and Kwame Brown in the starting.
To this day, that still gets me, bro. That still gets me. But what I was going to say before the video ended was the fact I think Shaq was the Batman of that team, that three-peat team. But I do want to say that Kobe was the Batman of that two-peat team with Gasol and him. I think that's when I think he needed that time away from Shaq, because underneath Shaq he always had that comfort and he needed to be who he needed to be. So I feel like that was necessary.
Lineup. I think of Michael Jordan willing his team of mostly crackheads to the playoffs.
That nigga said mostly crackheads. Mostly crackheads.
And dropping 63 points against the first-seeded Boston Celtics in 1986. Those are legitimate examples of superstars carrying their teams.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe simultaneously steamrolling the league together as complementary superstars is far from the definition of a carry, even if Shaq was clearly the superior player. But after it's all said and done, this is just my take on the matter. What's yours? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
All right, man, that is the end of this video, man. I think this video really stems because people want to always go and say, okay, well, Shaq just carried him. No. I like the fact that he broke it down. Like, no, if you look at the numbers, bro, he was right there. He might have not been one in the league, but he was dang show too. So it was something that needed to be said. I think this showed a lot of what it is. I've never once thought that, like Kobe Bryant was the greatest player on that Lakers team. I always thought Kobe Bryant was a great player on that team, but I do always think that was Shaq's team. And then when Shaq left and he got Gasol and all that, that became Kobe Bryant's team. When 24 came out, it was just two different things. That's what it was. But, man, if y'all guys did enjoy this video, man, and y'all want to see more videos like this, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you never miss another solid reaction. I will see y'all in the next reaction, baby. Peace.